Thank you again for joining tonight's New Glenridge Area Middle School Construction Update Meeting. We will get started with tonight's presentation. This meeting will be interpreted in Spanish. To access Spanish interpretation, please click the globe icon towards the bottom right hand of your screen. On a computer, at the bottom of the screen will be an interpretation globe. Click that globe and then select Spanish. On your mobile device at the bottom of the screen, tap the globe icon at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. And again, tap Spanish. We certainly value your input and invite you to type in your questions and comments in the Q&A area of Zoom. Questions and answers from this town hall will be posted on the school project page at offices.pgcps.org/CIP. I will now turn the meeting over to Will Smith.
Thank you, Karen, and good evening, team and community. I want to go over, my name is Will Smith. I'm the project manager, management supervisor for the Department of Capital Programs. I want to go over what our commitment is as PGCPS, but then also Department of Capital Programs as well. PGCPS is moving swiftly to deliver state-of-the-art, safe state-of-the-art and sustainable learning environments for our students, teachers, and communities through a three-pronged approach: traditional capital improvement, which we've done on a yearly basis, stage renovations, and the nation's first public school P3 design, build, maintain approach, otherwise known as the Blueprint Schools program. We're on track to deliver over 25 modernized school facilities in just 10 years. Tonight, we will be touching base on just construction updates related to the project. And then our agenda will be the following: team introductions, project scope, a construction overview section, and then we will end tonight with a Q&A session as well. Once again, my name is Will Smith. I am the project management supervisor for capital programs. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Hewitt, who is the project manager for the project, who is responsible for the day-to-day interactions managing this beautiful facility. Ms. Hewitt.
Yes, thank you very much, Will. My name is Hewitt Selassie. I'm the project manager for this wonderful project, New Glenridge Area Middle School, and I look forward to completing this project and delivering it to you with the help of Grimm & Parker and MCN Build.
Thank you. Next, we will turn it over to our designer and architect of the project, architects Grimm & Parker, led by Jonathan Hill.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Hill with Grimm & Parker Architects. I am the project manager for this school. We're very excited to be a part of this project and bringing the state-of-the-art school to the community.
Thank you, Jonathan. And last, but definitely not least, our contractor that is responsible for delivering this wonderful facility for our community, MCN Build, led by Zad Sharif, project manager.
Hi, everyone. Zaid Sharif with MCN Build, general contractor. Yeah, excited to be part of this wonderful project and looking forward to delivering it to everyone here.
All right, and with that said, I'm going to turn over to Jonathan, who will lead us for the project scope.
So for those who don't know, Glenridge Middle School, which is the project that we're all working on, is going to be a 1,200 seat school. It's being built within the existing Glenridge Community Park. It's a school that has been designed to separate public and private functions. We consider the classroom functions to be the private functions, and so when this project is built, there will be a 3-story classroom bar that is situated just slightly down the hill. If you are familiar with the park, at the upper park entrance, that classroom bar will be off to your right. That upper park entrance will be our new bus loop. That will give you direct access into the more public portion of the building, which will have the administration suite, the main gymnasium, and the main cafeteria as part of it. And as you look at this this rendering, we're looking at the bus loop. Just to the right, there's a there is the car parking lot, which will be accessed from down the hill from Flintridge Drive, and you can see there's a canopy at the front, which will be directly accessed by students who are being dropped off by their parents. Next slide, please. We're excited to this school, about this school. We know that we're taking apart sorry, that we're situated in this lovely park that you have, and the design has been made with that consideration in mind. We're integrating into the park pathway systems. We're providing new public spaces that will be accessible by the community, that we think will be enhanced and an upgrade from what's already there. You can see one of the lovely courtyards that the building will have, which will be nestled in between the classroom bar and the main administration area. And those two portions of the building will be connected by the cafeteria and media center bar, which you can see sort of in the back to the left of this building with the multicolored curtain wall. The materials of the building will be masonry and metal panel with colors that are selected to be harmonious with the natural setting in which the building's nestled. Next slide. This is one of these spaces that we're very excited about. This is the school commons on the upper tier. You can see the cafeteria portion, which also has a stage for public, for school performances and public addresses. We have a learning stair, which connects that cafeteria portion with the media center, which is in the lower portion of the building, which also leads into a courtyard, an additional courtyard that's on the other side of the building, which also could be used for public functions in the park, and for spaces for the students to engage in outdoor learning and other outdoor activities. We think that this is a showcase space, and we can imagine that not only that this space will get used not only during school hours, but also during after school programs hosted by the school and the community. Next slide. This is yet another view looking from that upper cafeteria portion into the classroom bar. If you look in the middle, you'll see a little orange box. That's for the makerspace in the building. This is a school that is going to be constructed with all the principles of 21st century learning, all the lessons that we've learned incorporated. The community will be receiving a state-of-the-art building that the students deserve, and that is reflective of the principles that Prince George's County Public Schools has in developing and improving its school system. Next slide. And we're looking at a view from the northern courtyard, which we were just looking out a couple slides ago. You can see that glassy connection into common spaces. It's common space. One of the things that we try to do when we develop these buildings is make sure that the students are getting lots of natural light, which is why you have these large glazed surfaces. You know, and this I can see being a wonderful space for outdoor activities, outdoor learning, and for the students to enjoy during their lunch periods, and more. And I think that is that's the building. I believe the next portion of this of the show will be for Hewitt.
Thank you, Jonathan. You know, when new Glenridge area middle school is completed, it will be one of PGCPS's 21st century schools. When it was planned and designed, it was done so with the idea of creating a learning environment that will, you know, support students to thrive. You've seen how well lit the spaces are, and kids will be able to enjoy outdoor spaces, indoor spaces that are conducive to learning. And technologically, it will use both geothermal and solar energy, and which will make it a highly energy efficient building. And it will also create for an opportunity for the students to be exposed to technology that conserves energy, especially as we see the demands of the rising prices of energy. This would be the perfect school to be built at this time and in this community.
As far as construction goes, so we got our permits in end of March and basically started construction immediately afterwards. Basically started with some of the earthwork and getting the site ready for all the construction. By August, we had begun foundation work, starting with the concrete and then following by masonry. We have some nice pictures later in the slides to show you some of that work. Geothermal work, like Hewitt just mentioned, is to help with the efficiency of the building. So that's all the way on the west side where the old field used to be, if you know what the park used to look like. So it'll be a new geothermal field below there. Otherwise, around the site, we're working on the underground storm drain utilities, interior utilities, so your underground electric, underground plumbing in the first floor. We're working towards getting steel moving by the end of the year, hopefully late November, early December. So here, kind of a brief overview towards the end of the project, but like I mentioned, underground work, foundation work ongoing, steel and geothermal work through the end of the year. We'll still starting that by the end of the year. We hope to start getting the roofing on by end of March 2023. Work towards interior work starting in April of next year. Start trying to close in the building May through summer of next year. Have power and utilities online by the early fall. As we work on finishes throughout the building, get the exterior work ready as well. Commissioning, building startup, trainings, and working on turnover of the building by March of 2024. A couple pictures. So this is one of the main retaining walls that basically sits in the middle of the school. You'll see another nice picture of it later on. Next picture, please. So this is an example of geothermal work. It's not the most exciting pictures, but you more or less have a boring drilled 400 feet into the ground. There's 160 of these on the site, but that's what basically feeds the HVAC units inside the building. And so here's a nice overview. So that first picture, if you see the concrete wall down the middle of the gray area, so that's your main retaining wall. The courtyard Jonathan mentioned are basically on either side of those walls, kind of sitting in front. So that's kind of where you have your nice outdoor spaces. At the very back of the picture is where you'll see the geothermal field. So that's that old soccer field. And otherwise around that, you have your landscaping, your basketball court in the middle, and your parking lots all around. And then we'll show you a time-lapse video as well, which is taken from the left side. So that's where you're going to be seeing from that angle. And this is starting work from July of this year through, I believe, last week. Yeah, so you're seeing the earthwork and concrete basically mobilized at this point. You can see the wall starting to get poured in the back there. So a lot of the work is underground, so it's a little hard to see in this video, but the next time we get you an update, you should see some more verticality in the building.
So at this point, oh, I'm sorry, Will, at this point in the meeting, we will entertain everyone's questions, concerns, any comments, and that will be moderated by Will Smith. So I will turn it back over to Will.
All right, thank you guys, and thank you panelists for all the information. There was a couple questions answered. There looks like there's one that is open. Two questions are the same. In essence, when is the project being completed? Or actually, no, when are we projecting opening for students and for the school year? So we are projecting open up this facility for the 2024 through 2025 school year. And so whether that is a September start date, whether that is an August start date, to be determined, but that's when we're projecting having students be able to occupy the facility. So hopefully that answered that question. The next one, in earlier community meetings, it was shared that the building would have 3,000 square feet of community space. Is that still the case? Jonathan, would you like to touch on this?
Yes, actually, the community space is directly adjacent. It's in that public area of the building that we talked about. That's almost directly accessible from the parking lot entrance near the canopy. And it's 3,000 square feet that have been set aside for partnership, for community groups to lease or use in partnership with Prince George's County Public Schools.
Okay. Another question. When do we anticipate the Board of Education, when do we anticipate the Board of Education will identify a name for this school? I know that that is a topic of discussion at this point. I'm unclear in terms of the timeline associated with that. But once that is established, they would communicate it and we will make sure that that is implemented within the project. I hate to, kind of beat around that. I don't really have an update regarding it, but once that is decided, we would definitely get that information out to the community. Next question. How much of the bus and vehicle traffic will be using Gallatin Street? Jonathan, do you have an update on that?
Yeah, so the way that the project is designed, we separate bus and car traffic. Its studies have shown that when those traffic streams are crossed, it creates a danger for the students. So the school is designed so that bus traffic will come into the school on Flint Ridge Street, while cars will enter on Gallatin Street. So if that answers the question, basically all of the bus traffic will be on Flint Ridge Street. That should happen at 2 times a day. When there's student pick up and drop off, whereas cars will be approaching the building from Gallatin Street, and I would anticipate that would be a slightly more regular flow of traffic.
Okay, thank you for that answer. The next question, we were promised that a wall will be built behind the houses on Greenland Street. When will this happen? Jonathan, I hate to...
So yeah, no, that's okay. So there is going to be fencing and there is extensive landscaping. There's not in fact going to be a wall there, but the landscaping won't be installed until the project is more advanced, because there is construction work at that area. But you know, what I can say is that Prince George's County Public Schools emphasized that this school being in a park and being close to neighbors was to receive a higher level of landscaping than you know, than some other schools receive, so that it fits in its environment.
Okay. The next question. Where are the current sixth graders slated to attend this school for the FY 2023 through 24 year? From my understanding that they're still going to be attending the existing schools in which they're slated for. That is actually a good question to gain some clarity on. I would anticipate at that point, if they're graduating and moving on to middle school, that they would go to the designated middle school that they're identified at for the, you know, for this year or next year. At the point where the school is now opening, I believe that once the boundary is redistricted, then they will actually relocate, or probably given the option to relocate to either to retain and stay at the existing school that they're at, or to move to the new Glenridge Middle School. But that is a question. Brittany, can we make sure that we highlight that one as one to provide a more depth and detailed response to?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we'll gain some more clarity around that and provide a formal response for it. Is this the school the kids from Glenridge something just happened. There was a question that just popped that way. Where is that at? Is this the school that
The
kids from
student,
Glenridge Elementary would go to once this is open? Was that answered? Yeah, okay. The feeder schools for this middle school have not been formally identified yet, but one would believe that that is a high possibility. So we answered that one. Next one was a traffic study done specifically on Gallatin Street traffic, especially parents. Especially parents is very bad with two schools already here. Any other options for parent traffic? Maybe Veterans Highway. I can't even walk safely over Gallatin before and after school now, and a new school will make it more unsafe to be a pedestrian. And so, I guess we could answer this, Jonathan. Yes, traffic studies were performed, and they're always, that is a requirement when we're delivering new schools. And so based on that traffic study, we identified kind of the approach to deliver or direct traffic, entering the facility and exiting the facility. And so that's what the design was kind of, created based upon. Do you have any additional context to that, Jonathan?
Additional context I would mention is that the middle school should not be receiving the traffic. Their pickup and drop-off times will be different than the elementary school drop-off times. So we shouldn't really be adding to the elementary school traffic in a profound manner. And again, the traffic is separated from Gallatin and Flintridge. I noted that there was a question where part of the question was whether traffic could be brought off of Veterans Highway, and that's something that we looked at, but given the disruption to the park and there are wetlands and some other sensitive areas of the park that are down the hill towards Veterans Parkway, that option quickly was eliminated.
Okay. Next question. I'm unclear of what the answer, the question is gearing towards. What exact time are we going to end? I'm not sure if that's the meeting. If so, that's 8:30. I'm not
I
sure.
believe they're talking about the construction. So when is the school going to be turned over and everything?
Oh, okay. If that's for construction, we're talking about spring of 2024, March area. All right, next one. Who do we contact regarding the wall change? This was to be designed to eliminate children from cutting through our yards. And so I would say, Brittany, if we can copy and paste the capital programs email to to tonight's presentation, you can direct all questions regarding this matter to that email address.
So just to, I don't mean to cut in, Will, but just to address part of that concern, there is going to be continuous fencing along that entire wall, entire length, that will also be paired with planting that would make it a significant barrier to students. And there's an unoccupied pathway onto the property that students could be directed to. So we think that it's unlikely that students would cut through the lawn when there's a clear path that will be designated in that area.
Okay. Another one is it for grades 6th through 8th? I believe it is. Yes.
Correct.
Next, where's the school located? We want to give exact address. You have the address.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I don't have the exact address, but it is in the Glenridge Community Park.
Yeah, it's 5211 Flintridge Drive. So it's just kind of up the street from where Glenridge Elementary School is right now. But yeah, 5211 Flintridge Drive. Glenridge Park is another name if you want to Google it, but that's how you can find it as well for the general location.
All right. All right, and thank you for that. Okay, that looks like the last question. We'll give it a couple more minutes if you guys have any additional questions that you'd like to add. Once again, I'll just add that, tonight's video will be uploaded to our website. Also, all of the questions will be answered and sent out, to all the participants that were present in tonight's meeting. So definitely want to thank you guys for attending tonight's meeting and being participants and being supporters of the project and always advocating for what's best for our students, and definitely appreciate that. Just want to thank also the panelists tonight for your time and all the messaging that you guys communicated, which is of this great project. I think we're all excited of what's to come, and once we're actually able to get this project done and students be able to get in on the first day of school, and just the joy and excitement that they're going to have once they occupy their new space. So I'm excited. I know you guys are excited as well. And doesn't look like there's any other questions. So with that, I want to thank you guys again for all your time. And you guys have a blessed evening, blessed night, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next community meeting. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.